not having all the answers might be one of the most deeply human things about us. We grow up in a world that often values certainty, confidence, and decisiveness. But beneath the surface, beneath the polished resumes and rehearsed conversations, most of us are navigating a maze of unknowns. And there's no shame in that. There's no failure in it either. Because not knowing isn't the opposite of intelligence. It's the beginning of wisdom. Think about how life works. No one is handed a manual at birth. There's no single path that explains what to do when your heart gets broken or when you lose someone you love. No one can teach you with perfect clarity what to do when you're trying to decide between a safe option and a more daring dream, or how to rebuild after failure just guts you from the inside out. There's advice, yes. There are patterns, but there's no guarantee. There's no formula. Much of what we experience in life, especially the things that matter most, can't be solved with a perfect answer. So much of it needs to be felt, endured, and learned in motion. And still, we pressure ourselves to always have the answers. We feel inadequate if we don't have a clear plan for the next 5 years. We hesitate to speak up in conversations because we're afraid we might say the wrong thing. We avoid new pursuits because we think not being good at something right away is a mark against us somehow. Somewhere along the way, we've internalized this idea that we're supposed to already be the finished product, that asking questions is weakness, that changing our minds is failure, that uncertainty is a problem to fix as opposed to a reality you need to live with. But not having all the answers isn't only acceptable, it's absolutely essential. It's the thing that keeps us curious. It keeps us humble and reminds us that the world is vast and complex. No single person, no matter how educated or how experienced, can fully grasp it all. It allows us to be open to other people's perspectives. It makes room for growth. If we knew everything already, if we always had the answer ready on our lips, there'd be no room left to stretch, to challenge, or to change at all. And sometimes not knowing is exactly what opens us to beauty. When we don't have a clear answer, we're forced to feel. We're forced to wonder stability, but life in its nature doesn't usually cooperate with our craving. It gives us variables, gray areas, and partial truths. And the more we resist this, the more we suffer. Not because of the uncertainty itself, but because we believe we're supposed to conquer that uncertainty. What if, instead of fighting not knowing, we just embraced it? What if we admitted freely to ourselves and to others that we're all just figuring it out as we go along? What if we gave ourselves permission to say, I don't know, without shame? That phrase, simple as it is, can be one of the most liberating sentences we ever speak. I don't know. It creates space and it invites dialogue. It says, I am here to learn. I'm not here to pretend. There's integrity in admitting that you don't have it all figured out. There's power in saying, well, you know what, I'm still thinking about that, or I'm not sure yet. And when you do that, you invite others to do the same. You help to create a world where vulnerability is strength and that questions are welcome. You give people permission to breathe. You give people permission to be real and to stop posturing. That's a gift, and it starts with the courage to be uncertain. It's also worth remembering that having all the answers doesn't mean what we often think it does. The answers can be illusions. Sometimes the answers we cling to are just comforting stories that we tell ourselves. Sometimes we mistake conviction for actual truth. And sometimes the answers we're so desperate to have end up changing as we change. What you thought was right last year might no longer serve you. What you believed in when you were younger might not fit who you are today. And that's not hypocrisy, that's just growth. Growth demands that we outgrow some of our old answers. It demands that we ask harder questions and that we examine what we once took for granted. And in that process, there are going to be long stretches where we're uncertain and where we feel lost. That's not a detour. That is the path. Being lost is part of becoming found. And let's also talk about how this relates to our self-worth. So many people tie their value to their ability to perform, impress, and deliver definitive knowledge at all times. They think that being smart means always knowing what to say, or having quick answers in a meeting, or being able to plan the next steps with precision. But intelligence is a lot more than memory. Wisdom is far more than cleverness. And competence is more than performance. True intelligence is adaptable and reflective. It's open to being wrong, and it knows its limits. So, if you happen to be in a chapter of your life right now where things feel unclear, wrestling with a choice, or wondering who you are, or trying to make peace with the fact that your path just isn't as clear as you'd hoped, it's okay. More than okay. It's human. You don't have to rush toward clarity. You don't need to manufacture a fake answer just to feel less exposed. Sit in the questions. Let them teach you. Let them evolve you. Life doesn't require you to be certain. It asks you to be honest. It asks you to be brave enough to live in the in-between. Remember, we're all figuring it out. Even the people who look like they've got it all together. The ones who speak with conviction, or who have impressive titles, or great plans. They've all got their own blind spots and doubts too. No one escapes uncertainty. Some people just hide it better. But deep down, we're all swimming in mystery. So if you find yourself without an answer, whether it's about your future, your relationships, your beliefs, or just your next move, breathe. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're learning, you're listening, and you're becoming. And one day when you look back, you may see that the moments of not knowing were the most important ones of all. Because those are the moments that forced you to grow roots in your own being. They taught you to trust the process, to let go of control, and to live not in spite of the unknown, but alongside it. It's okay not to have all the